Francis has got to be Timmy's biggest hater. He's done things that should send him straight to jail. But what if I told you he gets bullied by Karma more than he ever bullied Timmy? Karma's coming for you, Francis. The clips I have in front of me here, it's not looking good for you, mate. Like in the episode Mr. Right, Timmy is sick and tired of everyone saying he's wrong. After getting what has to be the millionth F from Mr. Crocker, Timmy gets confronted by Francis, who's in the middle of bullying.
Some kid I was wailing on told me about your F, so I'm here to add injury to insult.
The bully heard about Turner's F and decided to add injury to insult. And no, I didn't say that the wrong way round, because Francis has a piping hot knuckle sandwich ready to give him as much injury as he can.
Oh, so close, but alas, wrong. It's a fist!
Timmy's tired of being wrong, so he makes a wish to ensure that he will always be right. Kind of like a girlfriend, except they don't have to wish for it, they just are. Anyways, Timmy decides to test this new power on the one person that he wants to be wrong so badly. The big lug himself, Francis. Despite his brute nature, the bugger is pretty organised because he keeps a schedule of the kids he's going to bully for the day. And we can already see that Chester, AJ and Sanjay are set to get a beating the poor lads. Regardless though, the bully isn't going to turn down a free gift like this. He decides to play another round of Guess What's Behind My Back.
Don't you want to play the Guess What's Behind My Back game?
Okay, what do I have behind my back?
And can I just say that this is one of the dumbest games I've ever heard of in my life. I came up with way better stuff when I was a kid. And I already had my brain rotted from watching cartoons way too much back then. You know, it's continuing to rot right now, I'll be real with you. But here's where things get properly mental. We all know what he has behind his back. A pair of fists ready to clock Timmy out. But our pink-hatted protagonist instead says he has a poisonous scorpion. And of course, because reality itself has to bend to make him right, Francis pulls his hand out to see a poisonous scorpion resting innocently on his palm.
Poisonous scorpion?
Wrong!
Ah, yes, of course. He has a bullying hand, and I have a weeping hand. The scorpion stings his hand, causing it to swell up as the kid screams in pain. There's probably a lesson to be learned here, but Francis sure doesn't learn it. Later that same day, he comes over to pull the same bullshit on Timmy. This time, our favourite god kid decides to switch things up, and he tells Francis that there's a wasp nest under him. And because the universe is now Timmy's personal revenge simulator, there bloody well is one. The wasps go absolutely mental on him, stinging the other prized bullying hand and absolutely destroying his face. Honestly, with the face he had before, this is pretty much an upgrade. I've got to say, that was downright beautiful to watch. But that wasn't enough kick for me. I'd rather see Timmy dish out the justice himself. Let's take a look at the episode Kung Timmy, where Francis takes things to a whole new level of absurdity. The episode starts off like any other day in Timmy's life, getting absolutely battered by Francis, who's shaking lunch money out of his pockets like he's a human piggy bank.
Give me your lunch money, Turner.
Can this humiliation get any worse?
Everyone else just laughs at him. But there's one person that can't just sit by and watch. Tootie shows up to defend him, which just makes things infinitely more embarrassing for everyone involved.
You leave Timmy Turner, my one true love, alone, you big gray bully!
Yeah, I can't see things getting worse than that for him. As the bullying continues, Timmy's dad drives by and sees his son getting bullied. Despite his usual questionable parenting measures, he decides to step up this time and try to protect his son. And it goes about as well as you'd expect.
Is there anything worse than having your dad fight your battles for you?
But it gets worse. Francis isn't just satisfied with taking the dignity of a grown man and his car, but he also takes the deed to their house. The f***ing deed!
Thanks for the house, losers.
Ignoring whether or not that's even legal, how does one kid even do that to a whole family? With his family stuck living in a treehouse, Timmy does what any reasonable person would do. He wishes to learn kung fu, to beat Francis's grey ass into the ground. He tried getting some training from his dad first, but that man has better luck fighting off the common cold than fighting Francis. He gets some real training from martial arts expert Billy Blanks, and that plus his magical knowledge of every martial art, he's finally ready to take down Francis. The bully initially doesn't feel like fighting, since he's already taken everything from the Turners. But Tootie points out that Timmy still has his precious goldfish. Cheers for that, Tootie.
Scared you'll lose your fish?
No, he's not! He's not scared of anything!
I guess she loves the chap, but damn, that is some serious trust. D-Day finally arrives, and Francis arrives with his own surprise. Not only does he know karate, he teaches it, and he's more than ready to square up against Timmy. Magic headband or not. Yeah, that's totally fair. Give Hulk Jr. the martial arts skill.
A chain belt? You study karate?
I teach it.
This is the point where I personally would be pissing and crying. But Timmy has already lost everything. He's not about to lose his magic goldfish too. Bless his soul, he tries to put up a good fight. But things couldn't be going any worse for him. He gets knocked around like a rag doll, till his parents are literally begging him to stop fighting. The only person that still believes in him is Tootie.
He'll eat you, then kill you!
You don't think I can do it? I do, Timmy.
Now that would be adorable, if not for Francis picking her up the next second. He usually keeps his beatdowns to one gender, but it looks like supporting Timmy Turner is something he can't tolerate.
You want to fight Turner's battles for him? Fine. That means you get the next punch.
For all of her creepiness, though, Timmy can't just sit by and watch the only person that believed in him get beaten up. So he summons all of the power that he has in him and locks the in.
As creepy as she is, she's still the only person that believed in me, and I won't let you hurt her!
What follows is an absolute masterclass in playground-based violence. I don't support violence against kids, but I damn support violence against this one little
You forgot the first rule of Kung Timmy, Francis. What goes around, comes around.
The aftermath is glorious. Francis ends up bandaged in a wheelchair, forced to clean all of the graffiti he spray painted onto the Turner house, whilst Timmy's dad watches over him. And to put some of that injury to insult that he was talking about earlier, Mr. Turner threatens to call Timmy to beat Francis up again if he doesn't clean any faster. Timmy's become such a threat that the adults are using him as leverage against the kid who could probably bench press a small car.
That's right, animal boy. I want every bit of graffiti scrubbed from my walls. Don't make me get Timmy out here.
But you know what's even better than a proper fight? Watching Francis get absolutely humiliated without even seeing it coming. Enter the episode Timvisible, where it's the last day of school and Francis is celebrating in the most Francis way possible by beating the absolute piss out of every boy in the school. So far, everyone seems to have gotten the beatdown treatment, and now he has his eyes set on his favourite punching bag.
How do you know he's looking for you?
It's the last day of school. He celebrates by pounding all the guys.
Timmy obviously doesn't want to deal with that potential crime scene, especially since he's supposed to receive an award for his perfect attendance. So he asks his parents to drop him off in the school. Surprisingly, they listen to their only child for once and drop him right in class. That doesn't stop Francis from leaving a death threat for the poor kid. He can't miss the precious bullying time with Timmy.
Turner, you die at 9:30.
With only 10 minutes until his promised death, Timmy wishes himself invisible to escape the raging monkey man that is Francis. But then he realises that he doesn't have to run. He can have some fun instead. Francis has done way too much harm to Timmy over the years for a simple hole in his trousers to be enough. Besides, the kid's so ugly, I doubt people look at him long enough to notice anyway. In biology class, while Chester and AJ are about to dissect a frog, Francis barges in and shoves them aside so he can perform the dissection himself. Apparently, it's what he'd do to Timmy if he could, which is deeply disturbing. Maybe we should get this kid some therapy instead of hating him so much. Invisible Timmy doesn't care about that bullshit. To use the frog to give the bully a taste of his own medicine.
This is what I'd do to Turner if he was a frog.
Hey, pick on someone your own species. Ooh, ow.
Timmy's blatant use of his invisibility ends up getting him on Crocker's radar, but after a few rough misadventures, he manages to make it to receive his award. Francis hasn't had enough for one day and comes in to give Timmy one final beating in front of his whole class. But the buck-toothed kid has gone through so much in one day that one bully isn't enough to scare him anymore. Francis goes in for the killer punch, but ends up getting his bully hands and his bullying face broken by the award.
Ow! My hand! Ow! My other hand! Ow! My head! Ow! My spleen!
That's what you get for celebrating the last day of school by beating up every boy you can, you grey bastard. Okay, maybe I'm getting a little agitated. I mean, Francis is a monster, but he's still a kid, just like Timmy, right? And it's clear that he's going through some tough times to be acting like this. Yeah, that. He beats up babies too. If you don't believe me, well, in the episode Babyface, Timmy decides that the only way he's going to escape the natural disaster that is Francis is by becoming a literal baby.
I wish I was a baby!
That should have saved him, right? He's a baby now. There's no way Francis would hurt a baby. Well, he wanted to hurt Tootie before. What makes this different?
I knew you're here, Turner. I'll find you even if I have to turn over every defenseless baby here.
You know, maybe if he put this much effort and determination into his grades, he might not be such a horrible kid. Anyways, his Timmy senses eventually lead him to the correct baby, and he prepares to go in for the kill. But even though he's a baby, Timmy's still going to stand up for himself. He throws up all over Francis and bites his fingers to get away. The daycare workers, Happy, Peppy, Gary and Betty, see Francis threatening a baby and immediately kick him out. To make sure that he's extra secured, they lock him in something called the fun box. Sounds super fun and happy, but nope. It's actually just a really tiny cage that shows off how flexible Francis apparently is. They even sing a creepy little song about it, while Francis is trapped inside like an animal at the zoo.
Fun box, oh fun box. Small and square and dark. Fun box, oh fun box. Check out these cool fun locks.
Some shenanigans with surprisingly smart kids happen, and Timmy ends up bursting out of daycare in a giant Francis robot powered by 9-month-old babies. Stay with me here, because this is some wacky shit. While Timmy finally works to get his wish of being a 10-year-old again, the babies go to town on Francis. Who would have thought you don't need to be up to a year old to take care of a bully? Goes to show that no matter what age you are, you can always achieve your dream. And people say this channel doesn't teach lessons. Timmy won this time because he had tiny backup. But what about when he's all alone? When he usually is? Just like in this episode, Deja Vu, where the universe seems to want to make him miserable. He misses the bus by 2 minutes, and Francis is right there waiting for him, like a grey predator lurking in the bushes. The bully grabs him and tells Timmy to bark like a wiener dog or get his face rearranged.
Wait! It's only 7:32! I'm only 2 minutes late! Wait for me!
Timmy tries his best, but apparently his wiener dog impression sounds more like a Swiss punch monkey, whatever the hell that is. Francis punches him anyway, giving him 2 black eyes that he has to carry around for the rest of the day.
Bark like a wiener dog and I won't make your face hurt. That's a Swiss punch monkey.
This leads to him failing Crocker's test and getting a super F, which is apparently worse than a regular F. His day goes from bad to worse until he's stuck with Vicky dressed in a bunny costume. Truly, this has to be one of the worst days of Timmy's life. And just like me after a bad date, he sits down to relieve stress by playing video games. He has a bright idea to wish for a reset button for life. Cosmo turns into a reset watch, and now Timmy can redo any moment he wants.
I wish my life had a reset button.
Watch.
And the first thing on his revenge list, Francis. Damn, I wish I had a redo watch. Timmy goes back to the morning, and this time he's prepared. He sets up a decoy of himself and wishes up a water balloon so he can get back at Francis.
Bark like a wiener dog and I... Huh?
It's payback time, muttonhead!
Except Timmy's aim is absolutely rubbish. He misses Francis completely, and after hitting a tree, a random guy, and somehow launching the damn thing all the way to France, he finally nails Francis with the water balloon.
Water! It burns!
I did it! I nailed Francis!
The toughest kid in school starts crying in front of everyone. Francis, the kid who beats up grown men and steals houses, is bawling his eyes out because he got hit with a water balloon. Beating the former toughest kid in school automatically makes Timmy the toughest kid in school, which has its own bag of problems. But it doesn't change how satisfying it is seeing Francis run away in terror. And then there's the big problem. And no, I don't mean Francis. I actually mean the very first proper episode of the entire series. And what better way to introduce Francis than showing him being an absolute wanker from day one.
You'd be able to reach this if you weren't so cute.
That's his very first introduction, guys. And afterwards, Timmy goes on to have an absolutely terrible day. At football tryouts, he doesn't even get to play. His position is literally the ball because he's too small. His parents go out to a movie he can't see because he's too young, and Vicky forces him to bed at some ungodly early hour. Being a kid absolutely sucks for Timmy, so he makes a wish that every kid has made at least once. He wishes to be an adult.
Okay, you guys, I wish I was older.
Except instead of becoming the tall, muscular, handsome adult he imagined, Timmy turns into a short, bold, hairy-backed, middle-aged man. Absolutely tragic. His parents don't recognize him, and he's kicked out of his own house, forced to sleep in the football field stands like a homeless person. The next morning, Timmy wakes up to see Francis bullying Chester and AJ. In his dreams, he imagined his older self taking down the bully that has terrorized him and his friends for way too long. Finally, this is Timmy's chance to be a hero and stand up to Francis. He walks up behind the grey tosser and flicks him on the head, telling him to pick on someone his own size.
This looks like a job for...
Older Timmy!
Pluck on somebody your own size.
And it would have worked too if Timmy wasn't so off-putting as an adult. Francis spots two police officers passing by in the distance and starts crying fake tears, screaming about being hurt by this creepy adult. The cops instantly believe him and start chasing Timmy down for child abuse. The one time we get to see him cry, and he's using it to manipulate the cops. What a bastard! Through a series of mishaps that land him in prison, Timmy eventually wishes himself back to being a kid. He returns to the school where Francis immediately goes back to bullying him. But after all the bullshit he experienced as an adult, Timmy's not bothered anymore. He's definitely not in a hurry to grow up. He's got all of his hair back on his head and none on his back, which is great because Francis suddenly realizes that he's got hair growing all over his back. Hold up, just how old is this kid anyway? Can we even call him a kid? Chester and AJ are as disgusted by it as I am.
I got all my hair, and none of it's on my back.
Ew!
Timmy, being the kind soul that he is, offers Francis a razor and shaving cream. Francis gets excited about shaving, thinking it'll be fun, but the second he tries it, he cuts himself and starts screaming in pain. It's music to my ears hearing the maybe kid screaming in agony.
Here you go.
Hey, shading will be fun.
The bully who mocked Timmy for being a kid got cursed with premature back hair and then mutilated himself to try and fix it. If that isn't karma, then I don't know what is. You'd think after all this punishment, he'd learn his lesson and stop being such a massive tosser. But no, he's way too much of a meathead to learn his lesson. Anyways, I'm off to go find more losers who deserve justice. So you don't miss me too much while I'm gone. Here's some videos on screen of other horrible people that have faced karmic justice. Cheerio!